There's room for discussion about identity, but today's conversation isn't about whether or not Cardi is Afro-Latina. This is about a larger issue that impacts Afro-descended women, misogynoir. So regardless of how you see Cardi's identity, we're going to focus on how these harmful narratives affect all Afro-Latina women. What is misogynoir? Let's start by breaking down the term misogynoir. Misogynoir was coined by Black feminist scholar Moya Bailey, and it refers to the specific intersection of racism and sexism that targets Black women. For Afro-Latina women, this often takes on an additional layer. We're not just Afro-descended, and we're not just Latina. We exist at the intersection of both identities, which means the challenges we face are unique and complex. Misogynoir shows up in many ways, from the way society polices our bodies and femininity, to how our voices are silenced or criticized more harshly than others. Think about how often Afro-Latina women are portrayed in the media. We're either hypersexualized, seen as fiery and spicy, or we're reduced to roles like the loud woman or the baby mama. These stereotypes are harmful because they strip us of our individuality and perpetuate the idea that Afro-Latina women are less deserving of respect and recognition. Beyond the media, misogynoir affects us in everyday life, in the workplace, in relationships, and in how society perceives us. We're often dismissed or ignored when we speak out, and we have to work twice as hard to prove our worth. Even when we succeed, we're often labeled as angry or aggressive, as though there's something wrong with us asserting our power. This is a tactic that society uses to silence us, but we're here to take back our voice. The Offset and Cardi B controversy. More than gossip. Recently, Offset made public remarks about Cardi B that stirred up a lot of conversation on social media. He said, "You're my baby mama, I won, but this isn't just about celebrity gossip." What Offset's comment reflects is a mindset that's steeped in misogyny, and specifically misogynoir. It suggests that Cardi's value comes from her relationship to him, that as his baby mama, he has somehow won her, as if she's a prize to be claimed. This type of thinking reduces Afro-Latina women to the roles we play in relation to men, and it's not just misogynistic, it's rooted in misogynoir. Afro-Latina women are already battling stereotypes that seek to limit us to nothing more than caretakers, sexual objects, or aggressive women who need to be controlled. When public figures like Offset make comments like this, it reinforces the idea that we are defined by our relationships with men, stripping us of our individuality and agency. Cardi B may be a celebrity, but this is a reality that many Afro-Latina women face. Whether in our relationships, at work, or even within our own communities, we constantly have to fight against being reduced to narrow roles like baby mama or sidekick. We are so much more than that, and our worth is not tied to anyone else's validation. Misogynoir in action, policing Afro-Latina femininity. Cardi's public response to Offset's comments was powerful, but it's something that many Afro-Latina women can relate to. Society often tries to police our femininity. We're told we're too loud, too aggressive, or too sexual, and when we don't conform to these narrow expectations, we're criticized. Afro-Latina women are often placed into stereotypical roles: the loud, spicy Latina, the hypersexualized video vixen, or the nurturing mother figure. And when we push back against these stereotypes, we're labeled as difficult or unfeminine. But here's the truth. Our femininity is not something that can be policed by others. We don't need to fit into society's definition of what it means to be feminine. Afro-Latina femininity is unique, powerful, and deeply rooted in our cultural heritage. It's about resilience, strength, and beauty on our own terms. When people like Offset try to reduce us to their limited views of womanhood, it's not just an attack on us as individuals, it's an attack on all Afro-Latina women and how we choose to express ourselves. The deeper issues behind misogyny and misogynoir. Offset's comments aren't just one man's opinion. They reflect broader societal issues of misogyny and misogynoir. Afro-Latina women are often undervalued, both in the media and in everyday life. Despite our talents, our voices are often silenced or ignored, and when we make mistakes, the world is quick to tear us down. For example, Cardi B has faced this over and over again. Despite her success, she's constantly scrutinized and criticized more harshly than her non-Black peers. People are quick to reduce her to her personal life or past mistakes, instead of recognizing her talent and hard work. This is a reflection of how society treats Afro-Latina women in general. In the workplace, we're often expected to prove ourselves more than our non-Black counterparts. We're paid less, promoted less, and when we stand up for ourselves, we're labeled as difficult. The same misogynoir that Cardi B faces in the public eye is something Afro-Latina women experience in their daily lives, but we are not going to let society's narrow views of us define who we are. Why this conversation is important for Afro-Latinas. So why does all of this matter? Why are we talking about Cardi B and Offset? Because the way society treats high-profile Afro-Latina women like Cardi reflects the everyday struggles that we all face. Whether or not you identify with Cardi's Afro-Latina identity, the issue here is about misogynoir and how it plays out in our relationships, in the media, and in our communities. When Offset made those comments, he wasn't just speaking to Cardi. He was speaking to all Afro-Latina women. He was reinforcing the idea that we are only valuable in relation to men and that our worth is tied to roles like baby mama. But we know better. Our value is in who we are as individuals, and it's time to reject these limiting roles that others try to impose on us. This conversation is important because it reminds us that we have the power to define our own identities. Whether we're in the spotlight or living our everyday lives, we are whole, complex individuals with our own goals, dreams, and values, and we deserve to be seen and respected as such. Reclaiming our femininity and strength. At the end of the day, this conversation isn't just about Cardi B or Offset, it's about all of us. As Afro-Latinas, we are constantly navigating the intersection of race and gender, and it can be exhausting. But we are powerful, resilient, and capable of defining our own worth. Our femininity isn't defined by how others see us. It's not about fitting into the boxes that society tries to place us in. It's about embracing who we are, unapologetically and without fear. Cardi's ability to push back against misogyny and misogynoir reminds us that our femininity and our power can't be controlled by anyone but ourselves. Whether you're in the spotlight like Cardi or navigating everyday life, your value is in your strength, your resilience, and your ability to rise above. We should never let misogynoir or any form of oppression make us feel lesser than. By embracing our individuality, we redefine femininity on our own terms. Afro-Latinas are multifaceted, and our strength comes from the diversity of our experiences and our cultures. Cardi B's journey serves as a powerful reminder that no matter what society tries to say about us, we have the power to reclaim our voices, our identities, and our strength. We don't need anyone else's validation because our worth is inherent. And as we continue to stand up against misogynoir, we are not only empowering ourselves, but also the generations of Afro-Latina women who will come after us. Closing thoughts. Misogynoir is a reality that Afro-Latina women face, but it doesn't have to define us. By standing up to these harmful narratives, we're reclaiming our power and redefining what it means to be feminine, strong, and independent. Let Cardi B's journey remind us all that our worth isn't tied to anyone else's validation. It's in how we see and value ourselves. Thank you for joining me today on Afro Latinas United. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content that uplifts and empowers Afro-Latinas everywhere. Stay strong, stay feminine, and keep owning your power. And until next time, stay proud of all parts of who you are.
Tchau, até a próxima vez!